Flawless failure.
Hi everyone, this is Josh. Mortal Kombat was really bad. This is going to be a spoiler review, so if you don't want to hear any of those spoilers, then go to this point in the video so you can find out what my score is. And there's your warning. 3, 2, 1. This film was written by David Callahan and Greg Rousseau. It was directed by Simon McQuoid. This is his first feature-length film, although he's done plenty of commercials throughout his career. Mortal Kombat follows Cole Young, an MMA fighter who's recruited by Earth's champions to participate in a tournament against the villains of the Outworld, who will conquer the universe if they win. Too bad the tournament never f***ing happens. It's not a surprise that this is yet another bad video game adaptation. I literally cannot think of a single one that has worked for me. It's not the worst video game adaptation ever. That honor would go to 2005's Doom. However, this film is probably one of the worst I've seen so far this year. I don't know anything about Mortal Kombat. I never really played the games that much when I was younger, so I don't have the benefit of knowing the lore in advance, which might have helped with my experience, maybe. But even if you are familiar with the games and you're looking for intense, brutal fight scenes, I'm not sure you're gonna walk away very happy. The movie starts off fine in the beginning with a decent one-on-one fight sequence that gets pretty intense and violent, but from that point on, it just gets more dull, more boring, and more stupid. It's like a slow and steady nosedive. A lot of that has to do with the protagonist, who's more bland than a slice of white bread. Louis Tan, who plays this character, also delivers a pretty awkward performance. Even for video game movie standards, the acting is pretty bad across the board. The only actor who has any personality is Josh Lawson, who plays this douchey Australian guy named Kano. He's the only person who's not overly serious. He just seems like he's trying to have fun with this role and not just speak in exposition the entire time, which is all the other characters do. And that's one of my biggest issues with this film. It takes itself too seriously and spends too much time establishing this world that I don't care about and all these rules in regards to a tournament that doesn't even happen. There's no actual tournament because the villains of this movie get impatient and decide to assassinate Earth's champions before it happens. This comes after the main character spending what feels like forever training for this tournament to unlock their arcana, or the powers they've received from this dragon mark on their body that they got somehow. There's a lot of dumb writing and storytelling that I could go on and on about, but I wasn't expecting this movie to blow me away with its story. All I wanted was lots of fight scenes and brutality. And there are a good amount of fight scenes, but the fight choreography and cinematography wasn't great, outside of some parts of the opening scene. I didn't like the way most of them were put together. The editing is so choppy, constantly cutting between different angles, often making it hard for you to follow the action. Maybe they did this to try to hide the fact that the choreography is really not that stellar. You know, for a film that really boasts its R rating and its willingness to show brutality, I was pretty underwhelmed by the violence. A big part of the reason why it often didn't work for me is because of the fake-looking CGI blood and all the visual effects in general, which looked pretty dodgy and cheap. The only effect I think they get right pretty consistently were the ice particles coming from Sub-Zero, who uses his freezing ability at one point to freeze Jax's arms and then break them apart, which was kind of cool. Again, this is a video game movie, so maybe having cartoonish looking CGI is a little bit more acceptable in this case, but 10 years or even 5 years from now, this film is going to look so dated. I had hopes that the conclusion could finish with a strong fight scene, and it doesn't. It builds up to a finale where you're led to believe that the protagonist is going to unlock his secret power and channel the energy of his ancient ancestor to defeat Sub-Zero. He gets it, but doesn't use it effectively, and Sub-Zero ends up getting killed by Scorpion, who randomly shows up after getting killed off in the opening scene. This is nothing but a cheesy action flick that just teases you about what's going to happen next, only for nothing to ever really happen. What's really going on here is New Line and Warner Brothers using this story as a stepping stone to set up future sequels to hopefully create a profitable franchise. Except no one's gonna wanna see the rest of these shitty movies in this franchise if they can't make a good first standalone film. Say what you want about how stupid the plot of Godzilla vs. Kong is, at least that film knows what it is and knows what its audience wants, and it does a great job of delivering what its audience wants. This film, I think, maybe knows what its audience wants, but manages to take all of the gratification and excitement out of what could be a fun premise. I'm going to give Mortal Kombat a 1 out of 5. Thanks for watching this review, guys. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you thought about Mortal Kombat in the comments section below. Feel free to leave a recommendation on a film or subject that I should discuss next while you're down there. And of course, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so you can know when I drop the next video. Thanks again, guys. I will see you next time. Take it easy.